Hello, everyone. This is Fomoby Dick. Today is Monday, June 18th, 2018. I've got a whole party with me tonight. We're going to talk some basic technical analysis, a little bit of fundamental analysis, and market sentiment towards the crypto market. Um, I've got with me Crypto Euclid, his lovely wife, Mystical Oaks,
Oh,
um, the always hideous Crypto Fungus, the
Awesome.
beautiful Alts Queen, and Captain of Alts is coming to us live from Vegas. You can see his live shot of the downtown Vegas there. If he wants to go ahead and say hello, Captain.
Yo, how's it going?
Oh, doing well, brother. How are you?
I'm great. You know I'm great.
Awesome. How about you, Queen?
I'm very good, thank you.
Awesome. Fungus?
Oh, I'm doing good. We should get Captain to speak for like 2 minutes so we can watch that fountain go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Don't stop.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Ah,
Yuki and Goddess, always great to have you guys back. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I stayed up till 4 a.m. and got up at 9. I'm ready to go.
Hey, Fomoby. Thanks for
Hey.
having us.
Are you feeding him enough coffee?
He makes his own coffee, Fomoby.
It tastes horrible.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. Tonight, I want to talk about candlesticks. I think we touched on that before, and maybe we left a little bit to be understood about candlesticks. So I am going to, in one moment here. Oh well, I say that. Give me a second, guys. Sorry.
Problem.
Okay, I'm just going to share my screen and you guys will get a look at these graphics. All right, can we see my screen?
Oh, yes.
Very
All right,
Whoa.
the infinite
Yeah.
tunnel there. All right, so you should be able to see this now. This is a bullish candle. We talked about this before. You have, just a single time frame candlestick, whether it be 1 minute up to weekly or monthly or even yearly, depending on which time frame you're looking at on the chart. You have the body of the candle here. The open on a bullish candle is always going to be lower than the close. That means when at the time that we opened this particular time frame, we traded up and closed at a higher point than when we opened. And then you have your lower and upper wicks. Sometimes there is no upper or lower depending on the price action during that time frame.
Mhm.
But those wicks will show you where it traded to and from during that time frame. So that is a bullish candle. And this, would be the opposite or inverse of that. Bearish candle, your open is going to be higher than your close, and the body will be red.
Did
Any
you draw
questions?
those?
Yeah, I drew those freehand actually.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. So, any questions about the candlesticks?
Can we go back to the green one? Because I haven't seen one of those in a long
Yeah.
time.
We saw
It
a
looks
little bit
so
of one of
good.
those today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pure sex appeal right in here.
Ooh!
Okay. Let's talk about particular candlesticks. Some of my favorites are hammers. And what hammers signify is, a reversal or continuation of a trend. So I want to show you guys some instances where that is the case. And we're on the Bitcoin daily chart for Bitfinex, which is one of the larger, if not largest, volume exchanges for Bitcoin. And you kind of see back here in December, we were trading at highs of 16.5 right here, and then we kind of had this downtrend small downtrend, and then we had this large. Actually, we had several candles that could be considered hammers, although these are kind of less distinct so much as this one. And the gist of the hammer candle is you have a long wick, whether it be to the downside or upside of the body of the candle. So this is a bullish hammer candle.
Mhm.
You can see we've got the long
Cool.
wick down here below the body of the candle,
Mhm.
and it signified in that point a bullish reversal where we were kind of in a small, couple day bear trend. We popped back up. Now, the significance of that is we had sellers pushing this all the way down to $12,800, but then we proved that we had demand at those prices to push the body of it back up and over the open.
Mhm.
So that's a good indicator, and this is to be used with other indicators, not not saying find a hammer and then place your bets on that, but this is to be used with other indicators as a check in your favor that we're going to have an uptrend. So, and this is also considered a reversal. These hammer candles. So if you look over here where we're close to the top, I think mid-December. Yeah, close to mid-December.
The
We were.
17th.
Yep. We were. We traded up to pretty close to 20,000 on Bitfinex, and then we kind of had here an inverted hammer. So an inverted hammer, you have the wick on the upside of the body, and kind of showed you at that point after this long, bullish bar, we had an inverted hammer. That's kind of a sign that we are going to reverse.
Hmm.
So, and we talked about over here, we traded all the way down to 12.8, and then we met demand all the way up to close higher. The inverse is true here. We traded all the way up to, it may have been actually 20,000, but at that point we had sellers that are willing to sell to push the body of the candle below open at that point. So that's a good sign of a reversal. And then that's the case throughout here. We have kind of this big capitulation candle, several $1,000 candle for the day on midway through January, and then even traded down as low as 9.2, and then we had a big hammer, and that was kind of a sign of a reversal. So
Very nice.
I really like hammer candles as far as indicators go for reversals, and to me those are a pretty good sign. And the person that I learned this from, that's one of his key things too. So, any questions about hammers or inverted hammers?
Would you use them on smaller time frames or just daily and above?
So I'm looking for them on the larger time frames, but say I want to, I'm somewhere in here and I'm seeing this hammer and I'm looking for an entry, I might then switch down to the smaller time frame after seeing that hammer take place and look for something down within the top of this body to the bottom of this body. Something I like to do is to go immediately to a 4-hour chart or even as low as a 15-minute chart, and I like to look at stochastic RSI on a 15-minute chart. I know I've got it here on the daily, but I really like to use that stochastic on the 15-minute chart. We're not going to see much there because I've got this zoomed so far in. But I like to use that stochastic RSI after I've identified, my daily hammer candle, and it's not always perfect, but it's just one of those things that you can mark off the list that goes in your favor for making a good entry. And I like to see that stochastic RSI pretty well bottomed out. It's usually a pretty good indicator that we're going to head back up, or if it's already starting to peak up, that's something good as well. Like I said, not an exact science, but it's just one of those things that's a check mark in your favor to make a good entry and eventually a good exit. Any questions?
Cool.
No, I think I got it.
Okay, what else do I have? We were going to talk about candlestick patterns. So let's see, what did I want to say to do with that?
What's the hammer on the top? Like is it like a shooting star doji? What is that one
Doji, yeah,
again?
Doji shooting star. There's several different names for it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's essentially an inverted hammer.
Just like a style of an inverted hammer.
Yeah. So it's the reversal from a bullish trend to a bear trend.
Okay.
At least that's my understanding. If you have something else and you'd like to input that, absolutely. Okay. I want to talk about inside bars. So another thing I look for on a daily chart are a series of inside bars, and we'll go here pretty recently. You can see back here on the 14th, which is 4 days ago, we had this bullish engulfing bar, and then we had 1, 2, 3 days where the body of the candles remained inside of the previous day's uh, price action. So you have an inside bar here, an inside bar here, and an inside bar here. That's a pretty good bullish indicator that we're going to the upside. Also, just another check in your favor. Don't say that's an exact science, because you may have had this bearish engulfing bar here, and then you had an inside day um, the day after, and then we immediately traded lower. So if you're trading on the daily time frames, maybe you want to see several of these inside bars to make your move. It's not an exact science. It's just something to put into the list that you know can help you feel better about making that trade, about entering that trade. Any questions about the engulfing bars or inside bars?
No, that seems good.
Does the inside bars work in the bearish way too?
Well, yes and no. I mean, you can kind of see over here on the 4th of this month. We had 3 days where we were inside bars, and then we broke to the downside. So,
I see it. Yep.
and maybe what you're looking for there is you're seeing you're seeing this volume, and even though we had those 3 days that we were inside of this candle, we were kind of not really strong with the volume. So that's maybe a good indicator that we're going to break to the downside. Whereas down here, we had, well, I guess we had kind of had downward volume here too. But also you want to put into account the amount of support you have down at these levels. So if you're drawing a horizontal line across this, and you're using the body of these candles, you can see the amount of support that's down at these levels. And even maybe you could say here, we kind of had, it's tough to see with this see if I can turn that off, take the volume out of there. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that. But you can see kind of this wick that comes down here.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
You can see how we kind of traded down here, and we met some demand, and that pushed us back up. And then we were able to trade higher with, even the next day's engulfing bar. So that kind of gives you an idea of maybe a reversal.
Very cool.
Okay, what else do we want to talk about? Chart patterns. You guys have any idea how chart patterns work? Continuation patterns,
Mm-mm.
bear
Is that like
flags,
the
bull
water
flags.
butterflies and stuff?
Yeah, those are kind of the unconventional. Maybe you've got like, the butterfly, the cup and handle, Adam and Eve, head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders. There's a whole slew of these different chart patterns, but to keep it simple, maybe for a continuation pattern we have 1 2 3 tops and 1 2 3 bottoms. Have you guys seen anything like that? See
Yeah.
if I can find a graphic here. One. Oh, shoot. Hold on.
Okay.
I wasn't very prepared with the graphics tonight.
Well, that's okay, Fomoby. You can't be
Do-
perfect all the time.
Do a search for chart patterns. It's the top one according to optionalpha.com. There's a whole cool page.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a 1 2 3 4 reversal pattern, and also the bearish inverse of that. So
Oh, so like 3 drives up, kind of
yeah,
same kind of thing.
and this is kind of getting closer to your Elliott wave stuff, which
Yeah.
I don't do any Elliott wave because I like to keep it very simple. This is the one I'm looking for. So let's say we're in a pretty definite bullish market. You look for these 1 2 3 continuation patterns. Same goes for the bearish market. You're looking for the 1 2 3 continuation patterns there. And let's find a good example of that. It could be said, let's see what I'm looking for here. So maybe oh crud, of course I've got a crappy color here picked out. Let's do yellow. There's a 1 2 3 bearish continuation pattern, and if we go back to the good times when we were in the bull market,
One more zone.
we can we can maybe draw like here we can draw a 1 2 3 continuation pattern there, pretty steep 1 2 3 there. So that's what you're looking for as far as the 1 2 3 continuation patterns, bearish and bullish. Something I don't heavily rely on, but it is a tool that you can use. Consolidation patterns. So let's see if we can find a graphic for that. And this kind of went back to when we talked about trends. I don't know if you remember much of that, Yuki, but we talked about your bearish or upward trend, and then a period of accumulation, or maybe distribution after that, and then this is considered basically a range bound market. We're not really moving in any one definite direction.
Mhm.
But that's typically what a consolidation pattern is. You're looking at well, crud, I don't want to go there. You're looking at sort of a range bound market, whether it be accumulation or distribution, and then you're looking for a breakout point, whether it be to the upside or downside, and
Mhm.
that is a change in your trend. So you've got your uptrend, a range bound market, accumulation, consolidation, whatever you want to call it, and then you're looking for a breakout, whether it be to the upside or downside. And some of these other indicators that we're talking about are helping you to identify that point of the breakout and which way it's going to head. So and then we've got there's other things too, the fundamental aspects of all of this that that go into play. A lot of people right now are kind of arguing about whether we're going to continue to head for a longer term downtrend, or we're going to kind of enter this Wyckoff accumulation and then head back up into a bull market. And to me, fundamentals go hand in hand with that. If you want to think about it, last year this time I think we were trading around $2,000 or $3,000, somewhere in there. We had this great big massive parabolic bull run, and now we're kind of settling back down, and we've hit these levels of 6,000. You can see here back in February, and then in April, and now again here in June, we're down around the $6,000 range, $6,500, and you can see that every time we get down here, the demand is met, and we're pushing back up. Whether we're setting new highs or not, that's not important. The fact is there is some serious support going on here at $6,000. Um, whales, whatever you want to call it, market makers are jumping in and getting involved. The bulls are getting involved at this point, and we're seeing reversals whenever we get around the $6,000 mark. So to me, that's a very, very good sign. We've now hit that support 3 times and bounced off of it.
Yeah, I definitely like this range.
The only thing that we're missing is you can see kind of back in here, if we're looking at our volume chart, we had massive volume, and that's done nothing but drop off, and we still haven't kind of really seen that resurgence of volume. Wish I could get rid of these guys. Oh, there we go. And you can see we kind of haven't had that resurgence of volume come back
That's
yet.
exactly the reason why I think we're going down.
That's a good possibility, and there's no telling. Nobody knows for sure, but in my opinion, these bigger buyers, for them to push it down even further, is that going to cost them more, or are they going to be able to make money? You got to think of the person on the other side of the trade. So while maybe some of us are retail investors, maybe the people that have been around in Bitcoin for a long time, what's it going to cost them to drive that down? Is there really the ability to do that if there's that much demand at these levels? How hard are they going to have to push to get it to break through that support? And to me, the fact that we've had 3 bottoms now at this level is kind of a good sign that maybe we're headed for a reversal. And it's also a good possibility that we just continue range bound for a little while. I think I've seen several charts, and I can possibly see if I draw a tighter triangle on this, where we've used, oh crud, that wasn't what I wanted to do at all. Give me a second here. So if I draw a tighter triangle on this and use that $6,000, $6,500 as my support line, that triangle extends out for a little bit, and we could pop back up into here to $8,000, $7,500, and then come back down. We could stay in this accumulation phase for quite a bit longer, and I think I've mentioned that on prior episodes, that the market will remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things are just little notches in the belt. Nothing's for sure. Anybody that says they're certain it's going to go one way or the other, be skeptical of that.
Right.
I don't know. Nobody really knows. Maybe my daughter knows. I don't know.
She might know.
She's saying Bitcoin $100, and I'm totally cool.
Your daughter knows. Get her on here.
She knows.
Put her on. Put her on.
Hey, Fomoby.
Yes.
What's the website you're using, and how do I set that up? I want to do all this stuff.
This is TradingView.
TradingView.
Yeah, this is TradingView. Do you use Binance, Yuki?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. I'm not logged in, and I'm not about to log in front of you guys on Binance, but they have advanced charts on Binance that you can do a lot of this similar stuff, and it's really maybe not as cluttered and more simple. if you're trading on Binance, they have the advanced charts, and you can draw these lines and whatnot. I don't really want to like get into how to use all of TradingView tonight. Even I don't know everything about it. I've seen a lot of guys that can fly through this stuff faster than I can, so I'm probably not your best bet to learn anyways. But TradingView is this site. I think I have TradingView Pro. It's like $14, $15 a month, and it's just something I like to use.
You can have a free account for a while. You can only look at 3 indicators at once, but you probably don't want to look into more than that.
Yeah, I've played around with the Binance. I think I have the Binance, like program, so I like the desktop, and I think I've played around with this kind of stuff. It's just over my head, and I have a small brain. It's like the size of a pea.
No.
That's the key to it, though, Yuki, is getting in there and playing with it. The more you're doing it, the better. It's just like anything else. You're not gonna hop on there and automatically know the ins and outs. It's just if you have the drive to learn, you're going to, and it's about it's about the time that you put into it. So,
what I did when I was starting is I actually did 1 indicator per week. So I would just be looking at 1 indicator in different YouTube channels and different web pages, and you learn that one, you work with that one, and then you move to another.
Yeah, that's a very good one. You guys can see I have these kind of blue band lines here. See those?
Yeah.
All this. Those are Keltner channels. Those are ones that I like to use. Bollinger Bands are kind of a similar thing. They kind of show you, potential for volatility. Whenever the Bollinger Bands, let's go ahead and switch to those actually. Whenever Bollinger Bands tighten or restrict, you have.
What were the names of the ones you have on now?
These are Keltner channels.
Keltner.
So they're kind of
channels.
similar. Kind of showing you a volatility in the moving averages. So anytime that we get way outside of these, that's a good indicator. Maybe here we're way outside of the Keltner channel to the downside. Maybe that's a maximum financial opportunity for you. And like I've said over and over again, it's something to be used in conjunction with many other indicators, whether they be bands or moving averages or just simple candlesticks. It's just a good possibility. See, we're way outside of the Keltner channels down here at the bottom of this wick several days ago, and that kind of is that's hinting to you maximum financial opportunity. Whereas let's go back to
was there a point where we were way above?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen that here just recently. Last month we traded up to close to 10,000, but we're way outside to the upside of these Keltner channels. That's a potential for maximum potential for financial risk, so that's a sell point for you. And same goes here. A week or 2 prior to that. Let's go look over here. You can see okay, so maybe it's not so apparent there if we zoom in, but you can see how extended over the top of these Keltner channels we were when we were reaching the all-time highs, and that's a very, very obvious point of maximum financial risk. Same goes for several days later when we were at 10.7. We were way to the downside of this Keltner channel. That's a point of maximum financial opportunity.
Very cool.
So, Moby, which indicators do you like to look at together in a chart?
A lot of it's noise, to be honest.
When you have many, it's very hard to.
Yeah. You want to keep things simplified.
I try to look at 3, but I've been trying to look at 3. Like, I'm trying to group them together, the ones that actually make more sense, you know, things that give you different ideas about, and I haven't come up with something that I like to use.
So you're kind of looking at what I like to use right now. I like my trend lines. Those are, a very, very simplistic indicator. I like my Keltner channels or Bollinger Bands in conjunction with those trend lines. And then my volume. I've got RSI up here, but I really don't like to use that for anything other than entries and exits on smaller time frames, like 15-minute time frames. So that's basically it for me. Like I said, I like to keep it simple. So I use these Keltner channels. I use volume, and obviously, we've got candles on here, which is your price action. Um, Again, that can be noise, but that's just so you could say that I'm using 4 or 5 different indicators right here, just with this chart. So, any questions?
I'm good.
No, that was
All right.
great.
How did you
Thank
learn
you.
all this stuff?
He's smart.
Kind of like Queen said, YouTube videos. I actually got started looking at it from Thinking Human TV, and I think I've turned you on to that, Yuki.
Yeah.
Um, my buddy TH is down here in Austin, and he kind of dawned on me pretty early that he knew what he was talking about. He keeps things very, very simple, and for me starting off, that was key. I wanted simplicity, and I didn't want to get overwhelmed with what I'm trying to learn. And I'm still very much in the early stages of learning trading, but so that was huge for me to learn from him. I got involved in his Discord and took his course, and that was kind of the start. And then kind of went off on my own, watching the YouTube videos, um, reading certain articles online, and just practicing it, man. If you're gonna lose, that's no doubt. I know everybody in here is lost, and if they say they haven't, then they're probably lying. um, but that's just part of it. You got to get in there and practice, maybe learn a lesson or two the hard way, um, and just keep trying.
So you're
Any
saying just jump right in there and figure it out.
No, not necessarily jump in there financially. There's ways for you to practice without risking money, um, which I kind of was overzealous when it came to that. But I was also investing at the bottom of a massive bull trend last year. Um, Kind of got involved early May, and thought I was genius because everything was just exploding. So and I've lost money too, but
Yeah, but can't you set up demo accounts? Can't you play with like
Oh, yeah, they
demo
told me
accounts?
about
Yeah.
that's
Oh
what
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Get in there and chronicle what you're doing, chronicle why you're doing it. I think I shared somebody's tweet today about that, about keeping a trade journal. I think it was Josh McGruff's tweet. You know, chronicle your entry point. Say why are you entering into that trade? What makes you think that it's going to go up or down, and then chronicle the results. And if you want to do that on a demo account, that's fine. If you want to do it with real money and just not risk very much, um, we've talked about risk and reward in previous episodes. That's also very, very good. So uh, I actually haven't used a demo account. Do you guys want to give any
The only,
recommendations?
the only demo account I've used is BitMEX. You can you can demo on there.
You can. I don't
Yeah.
know because I don't trade with leverage. I'm not there yet.
But you could also use BitMEX without leverage and demo.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Awesome. There yet? Let's see here. I'm just checking the chat, make sure we don't have any. Okay, awesome. Okay, let's get out of technical analysis because that can. You guys don't seem to. Captain, are you there? Even? Or are you
Yeah, I'm
sleeping?
here, man. I'm
Oh,
sorry. I'm just listening. I've been learning.
What
don't
is
go
he
to
doing?
sleep on me. It's not that bad.
wake him up.
Huh?
He's resting up for that next gambling venture he's gonna do.
That's right.
Let's go into fundamental analysis.
Okay.
You guys want to talk about that?
Sure.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I'm
before
actually
we
terrible at that, so.
yeah, before we we're all a little bit terrible at it.
Except for
Uh,
Fomoby.
well, no, I'm not any good either. Somebody that's really good is OJ. I like to read his articles on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, he's got a couple good articles with some fundamental analysis.
Oh. Give us a link.
I don't have anyone ready.
All
Okay. I think he's
right,
coming.
all right. DM me it later.
Yeah, there you go. Am I still sharing my screen?
No.
No.
Not right now.
Okay, good. We had some good questions from you, Queen, earlier about. Actually, do you want to go ahead and just repeat your question about looking, in certain sectors or markets?
Sure. So I never really did the gem hunting part the past 2 years. Someone else did it for me. So I was kind of trying to make a list of things that you look at when you're gem hunting, and whether you actually wait for someone to show you something or you start looking on the lists. Like you start at what number you start? You start at 200. Do you start what do you do?
Just outside of the top 5 actually is where I started when I first got involved, and that's because I knew nothing of crypto. And yeah, I'm gonna share my screen. Hold on. Started right here on Coin Market Cap, and basically went through this list and would click on a project and navigate to their website like so. Some of
Oh
these
man,
are
I
a little
forgot about Neo.
yeah, ant shares, man, ant shares.
I had those ant shares.
um, and I would go to the website and I would just basically navigate around the website. And first thing I always like to look at is the team, which Neo I think has an organization, but it's not one of the easier ones to find. So I'm going to take you guys to my favorite project here. I'm going to shield my favorite here.
Have you ever looked at the white paper of a coin from beginning to end?
No, I'm not that technically involved.
I've,
I understand.
The only white paper I've read is Dentacoin, and that was just so I could make a good joke about it.
Why does everyone hate Dinacoin? What's the deal with Dinacoin anyway? I always hear
It's
about
such a scam.
Massively
that's-
marketed. That's one of
great
the
marketing.
negatives I actually will look at in a project. How heavily is it marketed? Why does it need to be marketed like that? If it's a novel idea and the community likes it, then word of mouth is your best tool.
Word of mouth, Dentacoin.
Yeah.
That's a
that was
Good
this
one.
episode's pun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, marketing is kind of one of the negatives to me, and another one that comes to mind when I think of marketing is electronium. How freaking heavily was that crap marketed when it first was being offered?
What was the first scam you got into?
The first coin
First scam.
scam, pro currency.
Oh. Okay. And the last one?
What was the most recent
Wait a
scam?
second. What's the O?
Oh.
Don't
Be
answer
honest.
that. It's okay.
Oh, okay. That's actually right when I first got started. I threw some Bitcoin at pro currency, and that's kind of got turned on to it by a friend, and hook, line, and sinker. But I made more than what I invested, and I got out. So,
Nice.
If a scam makes you money, is it really a scam?
Yeah,
Yes.
actually, those are probably the biggest scams.
Those are beautiful scams, but they're still scams.
Most recent scam?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
If you want to share.
Probably Bitcoin, because I lost plenty of money on it.
Not just call Bitcoin a scam. Hell no. I'm getting off this show.
We lost Yuki.
Well, I mean, I lost money. The Walton chain scam was kind of bad for me. The whole giveaway scam thing. That
Oh, yeah,
sucked.
that was funny.
Yeah, that sucked. I wasn't quite ready to sell, and then took a big dump on me.
Oh.
Yeah. Pro currency and Walton chain. What about you guys? What are some of your biggest blunders? Yuki?
Are you asking me?
Ripple. Ripple.
Right.
Let me tell you. Well, there was okay. There was a certain collectible. I'm not gonna say any names,
no.
but
No.
What?
No, you didn't.
He went there.
but I think
We've all gone there.
strong hands was a pretty dumb move on my part. I think it's been eaten by my computer.
Go on anyway.
I think my antivirus software ate all 22 million of them.
Oh my god.
I can tell you my blunders. Do you want to hear a blunder?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Fungus.
You
Next.
got me started. You can't stop me now.
We don't mean personal blunders here. You.
No, I'm talking about a coin blunder I made.
Yeah.
Okay, so this goes along with crypto Twitter. When I first got on crypto Twitter, I followed all the big boys and all that, and someone was like, "Yo, they just listed Pivx on Binance." So guess what I did? I ran and bought $30 worth of Pivx, and I paid like $30 for a Pivx, and now Pivx is worth like $2.
Oh, jeez. Well, at least you didn't go all in.
Yeah, that was one of my blunders.
You learned a very valuable lesson that day, huh?
Yeah.
Fungus? Come on, man.
Oh, we're going to be here all night if you want to go with blunders.
Pick the best one.
It's going to be a long show.
Yeah, give us the best story.
Okay, my introduction to crypto was the bull run of 2017, and I didn't understand what alts were. And my buddy was like, "Hey, you think Bitcoin's the only thing? Like, should go on this site called Poloniex and look around." I was like, "Oh, okay." And I came across Digibyte, and I saw the chart, and I was like, "Whoa, what is going on? Why is this thing pumping so high?" And I bought in, but I bought into the pre-pump, and I ended up, panic selling somewhere down. I think I bought around 600, and I panic sold somewhere way below that. And then I watched it pump to what did it go to? Like 3,000 Satoshis? Just insane. So that's what got me hooked. And that was like my first big blunder.
Cool. Yeah, those kind of experiences are something you're probably never going to forget. And they're key to, I think, helping you grow and do better, in the future. So, Queen?
So how do you get how do you not get into a scam? What is it that you look for when you're doing the FA? What do you said you look at the team, right?
I like to first look at the team.
What do you look at when you look at the team?
Can I do another funny story?
Go for it.
Remember when everyone was shilling OCN?
Fuck OCN.
Aren't they still kind of doing that?
Tron's thing. So the first thing I did is I went to the OCN's page, and if you go there and you click on the team link doesn't work. There's
no way.
Yeah, I think even when I was pumping, I was checking on the site, seeing if they updated the site, but there's still no team link.
Yeah, that's a big.
So I was like, what is going on?
Big bad sign right there.
Yeah.
I had a few bits on OCN that I forgot about. And when it dropped so much, it just hit right on it, and I have a huge bag of OCN that I cannot get rid of right now. I fucking hate that coin.
Captain, you want to share any?
Yeah, I got one. So I was trying to get my kids in on the crypto thing, and so I think I bought them all Litecoins at first, but things were moving pretty fast in the Ripple world at the time, and my son, who's off in college, kept calling me and texting me about it, and I end up trading in all three of their Litecoins for Ripple at $2.60 each, and I think I finally cashed out at just under $1.
Ouch. Yeah, I had a buddy
Yeah.
that
Damn.
lost a lot, like more than I make in a year on some Ripple. Very
I
sad
just
story.
rechecked. I just rechecked Odyssey. That link still doesn't work.
Oh god.
Oh my god. Oh,
Team
I
is
want to
dead.
cry.
Advisory team works. You try and click the tech team below. It doesn't work.
So, beyond the team,
Yeah.
advisors, supporters of the project. Um, my one of my top, bags, 0x is, um, you know, uh, has two advisors that are, Coinbase or previously at Coinbase. Um, you know, um, Another of their advisors or excuse me, three of their advisors were at Coinbase, and another one was a Teal 20 under 20 fellow, and had been involved in some other projects. So I look at the advisors, and then I try to find out who in the community, the crypto community, supports that project or speaks, highly of it. So I'll search Reddit every now and again. I like to read Medium articles, that are for or against that project. Um, and then moving outside of the community and the people behind it, I try to get a condensed idea of what it is the project is seeking to do. And then beyond that, I like to see a solid roadmap that says, that lays out how they're going to achieve that. So, um,
What I've never really ventured on crypto Reddit. Is it how does it compare to crypto Twitter for finding information?
I prefer Twitter as my place to start. If that leads me to Reddit, then I'll go there. But unless I
I,
have,
I started out at Reddit, and look at me now.
Reddit is
Made it.
confusing for me.
yeah, I think if
It's hard to
anything,
find
proof of
information.
what the Reddit has done to these AI bots is good proof of why you probably shouldn't spend too much time there. Um, and it's hard to like go on to the channels and find unbiased opinions. And from what I've seen, when you go onto a subreddit and it's about a coin, it's keeping up to date with that coin's news and people that are in support of it. You don't often see um,
Yeah.
negatives,
Yeah.
cons to those coins, whereas Twitter's like a freaking free for all.
Yeah,
And
you can have a full on discussion.
yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. And um, there's not the shoot, what's the word I'm looking for? There's not the censorship I think that there is on Reddit with the moderators and all that. So people on Twitter, if you've got somebody that's got thousands of followers and they're pretty influential and they've got hundreds and hundreds of comments on a tweet about a coin, chances that they're going through and blocking all the negative ones are pretty slim to none.
Well, I like Reddit. I go to Reddit, the Bitcoin subreddit. I used to do it a lot, but then I got addicted to Twitter, and now I don't go over there anymore. But I still like it. Yeah, man.
It's a good place. I mean, it's just another. It's like anything else I've talked about. It's a tool for you to use, and to create, a better um, view. It's going to give you different perspectives. All of those perspectives, well, not all of them, but a good majority of them are going to have some influence on you, and they should be rolled into your uh, way of looking at things, and it should be considered by you. Question everything, absolutely, but the more you do that, the better prepared you're going to be to make these kind of investments. So
When I just did a top. Yeah, it was well said, Fomoby. I just did a top of all time in r/Bitcoin. It's subreddit, Bitcoin subreddit on Reddit, and I got excited. You want to know why? Because this reminds me of when I was just getting into crypto, and you would see the memes on Reddit. You would see the roller coaster guy go up, and then the roller coaster guy go down. And I'm looking at the top tweet or top post, and it says it's official: 1 Bitcoin equals $10,000. That was 6 months ago, and it's so exciting, and I can't wait to the excitement comes back. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just ready for stuff to happen again. I'm ready. I want it to happen. I'm gonna post this in my Discord chat. That's how excited I am about this.
that's what makes me feel like this is going to go absolute ape shit in the next um, as soon as we are have a definitive bull market again. I think it's going to go absolutely crazy because you have not only seasoned investors and big money, institutional money that want to get involved in Bitcoin. You have retail investors, like the stock market has never seen this kind of excitement and sentiment towards anything like crypto has, in my opinion. Um, that makes me think that it's just going to go absolutely nuts. And I don't, as fast as the cycles happen um, in crypto, I want to believe that we're meeting a substantial demand even at these levels from even retail investors, that the big money isn't going to sacrifice any more to drive it down lower. I think that we've already seen our capitulation, and while we might remain range bound for some amount of time more, I don't see the bears looking at the risk and reward at this point. How much lower can they really drive it? We've driven from 20,000 to 6,000. Is it really worth it for them to push it down another $1,500? To me,
But
in my opinion,
20,000
that's
was an anomaly. That's not really. That was a complete anomaly.
no. I mean, it wasn't an anomaly. It was price discovery in in a totally new asset class that innovates and it innovates money as we know it. So um, I don't see how 20,000 would be an anomaly as small as the space is. Looking at what? Actually, I'm going to share. I think I did this last time. I don't know for sure.
But
I don't mean it's not going to go back to 20,000. I'm saying at that time frame, it was an anomaly for it to go up so fast.
Are you talking about like
it was in the news? Everybody was talking about crypto millionaires. Everybody thought it was a way to get rich very fast.
Okay, but you're gonna see
sweaters.
that's gonna take place over and over again, and it has already with Bitcoin. We've had several throughout time, these parabolic movements where we got massively extended to the upside. I mean, we can go back to even early 2017 when Bitcoin went up to almost $1,200 and then dropped down to $750. That's gonna continue over and over and over again. I don't think that it's an anomaly to
What's
the point.
Queen? What's your scenario that's playing out in your head?
I think we're going down, and I think we're going down before we go back up.
You think
I
we're
have
hitting
some
loop?
friends. I mean, friends, people I know who have they have hedge funds and stuff, and they work in financial institutions and stuff, and they say, I know they want to get into this, but they won't get into this at this prices.
Interesting.
And I think if this goes down a little further to 4,000, 5,000, he may bring these people into the market that we really, I mean, I know we don't want these people in it because they screwed up the previous market we had. But at the same time, we need this money into crypto. We need everyone to come in and start, I don't know.
We need that excitement again. We need that.
Exactly.
It's going to get down. Here's what's going to happen. Here's my prediction. And this isn't my own idea. I've heard this just from my wife and people on Twitter, and just an overall sentiment. Here's my prediction. We're going to 4,000, and then it's going to freaking
and it's going to explode. I believe so. Yeah.
Everyone's going to buy back in. Everyone. I'm talking all the people are going to buy back in, and it's going to create this frenzy, and we're going to shoot back up to 20,000 again by December.
So what makes you think that the other guy who's already holding Bitcoin, what makes you think that he's going to sell it down at those levels to give those people an opportunity?
He's not. It's all these other goofballs.
So there's all these people that went into crypto in December.
Yes.
That just wanted to get rich. That went into crypto. They have to give up. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry for them, but
mercy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the people
and we need that capitulation of all these people who brought it up so fast. And I mean, I bought in end of 2016. I got some money, and my ex was into crypto, and I got in. And I mean, I took it out in December, not because I was super smart and everything. I actually thought it was going to keep going up, but I had enough money to pay off my loans, and I took it out. Right now, I have some money that I want to put into it. I'm not putting it in right now. And I showed it when it went down. I'm not putting it in until I see a real reversal for all of this. And I feel like there's a lot of people who think like that. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just the only dumbass who has some fear right now. But I think that's what's happening, in my opinion, which is a very, very limited opinion, of course.
Well, I think it's worth its weight for sure. You're managing your risk and your reward, and last year I think I stopped buying Bitcoin around $4,500. And at that point, all my friends were asking, should I buy? Should I buy? I said no. Maybe throw some money at Ethereum or Litecoin. But to me, at that point, Bitcoin was way overextended. And then, I think in November we dropped back down to $5,400 or something like that. Even then, I was still hesitant. But what I'm looking at now is telling me every time we get down around $6,000, there's demand, and it pushes the price back up. Whether the volume is there or not, when we get down around those key levels of $6,000, it shows up. The volume shows up and pushes the price back.
No, but the thing is, we've had so many bottoms since December, and I actually bought in all of them, a little bit, but I did start to buy in all of them. And right now, I'm so fucking tired of them going up and then going back down. I'm like, I'm just waiting until this is the real bottom. And I think that's what a lot of people are feeling, and that's why there's no volume in the market right now. Everybody's like, okay, show me the bottom. This is not the bottom. I'm tired of seeing bottoms all the time. You know?
Okay. Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess what I'm trying to say is to look at the person on the other side. What makes you think they're going to sell you their Bitcoin?
The whales.
Cheaper?
Because like wouldn't the whales just start dumping it or something, and then making everyone scared, and then everyone just sells it because they want to? You know what I mean? Is that how it works?
We've pushed price down from $20,000, 70% to 6,000, $14,000. We've dropped the price. What makes you think they're going to fork it out to push it down another $1,500 when we've already hit 6,000 3 times? And I'm being objective here. I want to hear
Right,
your
but
answers.
at the same time,
There's no correct answer.
who's bought Bitcoin here higher than 6,000 when they went in? No one.
I did.
You know, all these.
I did.
I bought a little bit.
Well, since December. But what I mean is, all these people who have this money, they bought it so cheap. They don't care how much it's worth right now.
That's a good
They're
point,
still
too.
winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about the price. I don't even look at it anymore. I stopped looking. I stopped caring about the price of Bitcoin. I don't trade. I hold things, I buy things, and then I stupidly sell them and move them back into Bitcoin at a loss usually. But I don't care. I'm here for the long run. This is going to be the future, and I don't care what the price is. I do like to get excited, though. I'm bored right now. I'm freaking bored. I want something to happen. I want the crazy fun. And crypto Twitter's boring right now, and I want something to happen. I need some action.
At least let's get some real blood so we can actually get some action. I mean, I don't know. At this point, I'm just tired.
Either let it dump down to like nothing, or
not nothing.
or make it not nothing,
Yeah.
but like
Not nothing, but yeah, something that is
like $3 or $4 grand.
Something people want to buy. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
I
low,
don't know.
and people are like, "Oh my god, I have to get in this," and then and then the price will explode. I just want to see some action. I just need to see some happen.
Do you see the possibility of other, like maybe world events driving people to Bitcoin? Maybe it doesn't require the price getting lower. Maybe we see some sort of endorsement or something that could.
Well,
You know something we don't know?
obviously there's going to be things that could influence the price. People get freaked out every time they discuss whether Ethereum's going to be considered a whatever the hell they were security. But obviously stuff like that could make Bitcoin bullish as well. Like I don't know what factors that would be because I'm not smart enough, but outside influences other than just movement of like whales and things are going to influence the price. I mean, they have since I've been paying attention to it. Am I wrong?
But for endorsements, I think the main thing is endorsements are always only going to happen from people who are right now the people that my father trusts. Okay. And these people don't want Bitcoin, and they're not going to want crypto to happen unless they have money in it. Right. And for me, right now, the real problem we have is for these people to get into our market. And these people only buy in sales. They never buy at a good price. They always buy when it's...
What was the old guy from JP Morgan that called it a fraud and everyone freaked out?
Jamie Dimon.
Yeah.
Jamie Dimon.
I mean, every time these big old dinosaurs say anything about it, the price gets reflected. Shit happens. So
okay, but
and until they have money in it, they're gonna keep killing it.
Look at the FUD that came out. Was it today or yesterday about Bitcoin halting the internet?
Yeah.
I mean, where's your response to that? We didn't go down. We went up.
Well, that's ridiculous. Everyone knows that that Bitcoin's not going to halt the internet. Even the
well, my father doesn't know that. No.
No, he thinks that Bitcoin could halt the internet.
Listen, I've made so much money with this. I've paid off my loans, which were ridiculous, and even like that, my father doesn't want to get into crypto.
Right.
It's so stupid.
Right.
Well, what's going to make these people go into crypto? What's going to make my father get into crypto? I don't know. I think only if someone they trust tells them it's something good and explains it to them.
Well, that's like...
Or you see, something cataclysmic in traditional financial markets where people are forced to abandon them and jump on this.
There's something like that every day.
Life raft.
There's something like that every day. Look at Venezuela.
Yeah, we've been seeing more and more of that with like the Deutsche Bank and
even in Spain, we have the communists right there waiting to take our country, and people are not even scared of it. They still think that our financial system is gonna withstand everything.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think it's going to be extremely difficult to convince older generations to do anything that's new and different. You know, it's like trying to convince.
They need for the news anchors to tell them this is very good because blah blah blah, because that's where they get the information from.
Well, they need.
My father doesn't go online to look for information. He waits for the news, which is stupid. I haven't looked at the news since, like, I don't know, since I was 10.
When when Fox News starts being bullish on Bitcoin, the whole world will change. How about that?
When Fox News was bullish on Bitcoin and there was not advertisement, but news about it in November and December, that's when it went up.
I agree.
But then everybody was so scared of it, they started saying things like, oh, baby brains and bullshit like that. And it went back down.
When the institutional money is completely positioned and ready,
exactly,
they will be.
When they bought in,
start talking about it.
Are they right?
That's what I'm seeing right now with us being kind of range bound since February, March. We're in a trend that is obvious accumulation. So who's accumulating?
Aren't these guys doing things?
The big money.
Why are they accumulating? No. Why are they accumulating? They're not accumulating to drive the price down further. They're accumulating it to mark it up.
But aren't these
They're
guys
not ready.
But aren't they doing things like, don't you think that the banks and the big institutions are doing things and they're like assigning heads of cryptocurrency, research and things like that? Isn't this, don't we hear murmurings of things like this happening? And that I feel like they are getting ready, and it is going to, they are going to start getting involved.
If we see a break to the downside, I can't imagine that it's much more. Like I said, we've already gone down $16,000 or $14,000 from the highs. What is the risk and reward in driving it $1,500 more? I don't see for big money. I don't see their reward in that. I see accumulation going on very clearly, and I see the next phase after accumulation, which is markup. That's just my opinion.
So, Fomoby, you're bullish. Queen, you're bearish.
Yeah.
Everybody here, I'm fairly certain, is long term bullish.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
I'm sorry. Yes, short term. Like.
Yeah, short term.
Yes, short term.
I mean, also, I bet you, Fomoby, you have most of your money into crypto right now. I don't have most of my money into crypto because I took it out in December. So I want it to go down, and that plays a part in what I think is going to happen. And I feel like that's what happens with you.
She said we should sell some of our Bitcoin in December, and I said no.
Yeah, you said no, and not that tone. What did I just tell you?
God damn it!
What did I tell you yesterday? You were wrong.
And then I was like, you were right. I should have sold some of my freaking Bitcoin.
Yours.
And then
that's a motive for divorce.
I know.
Women's intuition is your number one indicator on the charts.
Okay, so from now on, I will listen to her.
Yeah, you say that. I'm going to call you guys up and remind them.
I just want to say I find this super interesting. Just like debating the fundamentals of Bitcoin versus the technicals. Fomoby, you're looking at the chart and some sentiment, and Queen is too. This is
really happy.
Solid conversation.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, everybody's got a really good view and many really, really great points. I try to look at it objectively from as many angles as possible. And I'm really happy either way. I've got money involved at this point. I'm fine with, buying some even cheaper. But to me, the technicals and a little bit of the, the sentiment screams to me that we're getting ready for another pop back up. Whether it be a small short-term bounce to the upside and then more range bound, I don't know, but I feel like the support and the demand at these levels is just it's something to be reckoned with. So but I mean, I'm fine. I'm not gonna have any bias. I'm cool with buying it even cheaper. That's not
Right.
a problem for me.
Mhm.
That's an opportunity. So, but
Mhm.
yeah, you guys all have really, really good ideas about all of this, and it's good to hear it. Kind of puts everything into perspective, and that's what we're here to do, right? So,
Yeah.
Captain, do you have anything you want to add, man?
No, man. I've just been sitting here listening, learning. This has been a great conversation. I'm actually getting ready to shoot over to Wahlburgers and get some dinner and go play
Do it.
casino games.
That sounds awesome.
Can you do me a favor and eat 2 of those, one for me?
Oh yeah, yeah. Probably not in the same sitting, but I'll hit it up again.
Hey, food. I want food pics on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know it, man. You know it.
Crypto
Sweet.
Twitter loves food pics.
Mhm. What's your game,
I don't know
anyways,
about that.
Captain? What
Are
do you like to play?
You like craps?
I like craps and I like blackjack, but I think tonight we're just gonna play some slots and keep it cool until my friends get here on Wednesday, and then we're gonna hit the blackjack table.
Oh, you don't want to spend all your money, huh?
Yeah, I gotta start slow, you know.
If you
That's a
ever
good plan.
if you ever need someone to explain the ins and outs of craps, I'm your man. I know I can detail explain craps.
No, we can't.
Craps is kind of complicated at the tables.
Yeah, I love it. It's fun. I know just
It is a
enough.
lot of fun.
Last time I played, I made like $200.
Because you did what?
I walked away.
No, you listened to me.
Oh,
God.
you weren't even there.
I told you the plan before you left, and you followed it.
Listen, I had my poker face on at that table. They all were scared
It
of me.
doesn't matter if you have a poker face.
They were like, "Oh snap! This dude knows what he's doing." And those dealers were like, "Get this boy out of here! No more, get him out. He's gonna clean us out."
Were you counting cards at the craps table, Yuki?
Yeah, I was like the Rain Man of crap. I could guess the numbers on the dice before they hit.
Oh, what?
That turns out as crappy Rain Man.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think they should redo that movie and do a craps version.
Crappy Rain Man.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Well, it sounds to me like Captain wants to get out of here and go enjoy some family time. I don't have anything else. If you guys have anything, let me know. And if that's it, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, we can go. Let's go through all 35 of my alt bags. Just take a few minutes here.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll start with Zcash. We'll start with
Captain, you're never going to eat.
Ethereum Classic.
Poor Captain.
Oh, buffet, Captain. Go to the buffet.
You just got real
excited.
excited.
God, I'm so excited. The buffet at the casino is the best food. Crab, all you can eat crab sticks, crab legs.
I don't know about
Crab
I've
legs,
never been to
crab
Vegas.
sticks.
Vegas is fun.
I wanted to go. I've never been to the West Coast at all.
Super
Oh,
fun.
yeah?
Yeah, gotta do that.
It's
The
dry.
farthest I've been is Chicago. That's it. That's the farthest I've been.
It's 110 Fahrenheit here tomorrow, so
Oh.
Oh, Jesus, I don't want to go. Yeah.
That dry heat.
Yeah, but
too.
that's what
Woo!
everyone says. But it's a dry heat.
Yeah, well, it
Stick your head in the oven,
right
then.
out.
Stick your head in the oven. That's a dry heat.
Yeah.
I went to Vegas and I walked out on the strip and I burst into flames. It was so hot. They were like, "Look at that dude! He's just bursting into flames.
All right.
He's not from around here. Look at him just
But
bursting
it's
into
a dry fire. It's a dry fire.
Yeah, dry fire.
It's all right. You were good.
I'm delirious. I haven't been sleeping very much.
All right, guys. Well, appreciate everybody hopping on here tonight. I'm gonna conclude this. We've been a little over an hour now. I really am thankful for everybody's time and opinion and input. I hope that people who are watching could learn something. if anything, what big clowns we are.
Yes.
And I just wish you guys all the best. I think that it's really cool where we're at in this space and where we're headed. And I'm really, really glad to share this with you. And just and a feeling of gratitude for all my friends and everybody that's here to learn together and put their 2 cents in so that we can get better together.
No doubt.
That's awesome. Well said. Thank you. Thanks for having us on.
All right. Well, everybody want to say goodbye, and we'll shut it
Yep.
down.
All right, guys. Thanks. I'm going to have
Bye.
some fun.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Bye, Captain. Bye, Queen. Bye, Fomoby.
See you later.
Bye. Enough.
Good chat.
Adios,
Bye.
muchachos, muchachos.
All right.